would like to speak about how to avoid excessive thirst and hunger during the fasting hours of Ramadan. Well, first I'd like to point out that thirst and hunger is required in Ramadan as part of the spirituality, but also for another very important biologic reason, I will say at the end of this talk. However, in order to avoid excessive thirst during Ramadan, there are certain steps that we have to take. First, we must try to avoid food and drinks that act as diuretics, which means they increase the urine flow, so they increase the amount of water lost from the body, especially caffeine. Many people would like to drink coffee after iftar. The problem with coffee is not just stimulant. Coffee is actually a diuretic. It has the same effect as medicines that induce water loss from the body. So drinking a lot of coffee will actually increase water loss. Also salty food. If we drink a lot of salty foods, it will increase the stimulation to drink more water. We need to avoid also sugary food. Food high in refined sugar, it has a problem that it will increase dramatically the insulin produced in the body to digest this extra sugar, which means that the sugar level will rise suddenly and then will drop fast. With the insulin still in the blood, patients will feel excessive hunger. However, another very important message, especially for those who suffer from changing blood sugar level, we try not to have one big meal, but to divide it into what we call small, frequent meals. We can break iftar with something that releases sugar slow, like dates, for example, drink some water, and then we can go to the prayer. Then we can start eating. Instead of having a big meal, we can divide the meal every 2 to 3 hours into small portions. This will prevent hunger and thirst. At the same time, it will prevent the sudden and sharp rise of blood sugar that results in the increase of insulin in the body, and will prevent the drop of blood sugar that will induce hunger afterwards. Another thing is suhoor. If we manage to have a late suhoor, shortly before the Fajr prayer, we will ensure that the amount of energy during this time will remain until almost half the day, so we will not have early hunger. At the same time, there are certain food that, like fresh fruits and vegetables, they have inherent water content. And the good news is this water will be slowly released in the stomach and the intestines and will prevent excessive thirst during the day. Same applies for certain food materials like beans, fresh vegetables, and also dates. They release their sugar very slowly, so they prevent the sudden rise in the blood sugar content, which will result into this excessive hunger and thirst. Finally, I'd like to add that hunger and thirst are important not just for the spiritual and religious reason, but for also the hunger and thirst are perceived by the brain as an emergency, which will make the body divert all the energy resources into healthy cells. And this will result in the early elimination of bad, old, and malignant cells. That's why people who have the habit of fasting, even Monday and Thursday and Ramadan, they have much better health than others. And Ramadan Mubarak.